and I fell in love with this knife. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today I have an awesome video planned for you. We're taking a look at a group of awesome knives, and these usually come in right around the $150 mark or under. If you've been wanting to take that next step from a more budget-ended knife into that premium landscape, then stick around. I have some awesome knives to show you. While we're getting started, let me know down in the comments what your EDC is for today. I love seeing what you are carrying. The first knife we're going to kick this list off with is one of my favorites in and under this price range, the Concept Cryo. This is a EDC dream right here. Now, I will have this link down below in the description. I will have the rest of the knives in this video linked down below in the description, and all these knives are available. I tried to pick knives that were in stock at the time of filming this instead of just recording stuff that is not in stock and doesn't have any use to anyone. So the Concept Cryo here is in stock, and it is one of my favorites on this list here. These are going to come in right around $130. We're going to be looking at S35 VN steel, about 3.6 inches of total blade, and this is a beautiful looking drop point blade, nice satin finish. There's going to be several different variations of this knife. I think there's 9 or 10 different styles, but you can also increase the price. They have a full Damascus handle version, and that is going to be quite a bit more than the standard version. But I absolutely love this plain Jane Cryo. We have a large cutout here, and we have a rear flipper tab for deployment. Absolutely beautiful action. Kim Ning, I really like his designs. Really new to Kim Ning's designs, but what I have handled from him is really up my alley. We have a full titanium handle, pocket clip, and hardware here all the way around. Great access to the lock bar. It's chamfered out on the show side, and the lock bar has a nice deep chamfer. Closing action, flipper will drop to your thumb, and it'll do the rest of the work all on its own. Even if you have an XL hand, you're going to fit very comfortably on this, and for the money, this is going to be extremely hard to beat. Next up, we're taking a look at the Vastid Knives Akita, and do not sleep on this knife. A lot of Vastid's knives are out of stock, and I saw a lot of people griping that a particular knife was out of stock, and they wish that it was a little bit bigger. Well, this might not be exactly the same as the Corgi V, but this is damn close, and it's a little bit bigger. The Akita here is sporting S35 VN. They come in right around 140 bucks. We're looking at just under 3 inches of blade here, and it has a nice stonewash finish. There are a couple versions of this available. We're looking at textured aluminum handles here that have a nice chamfer on this face, and it's going to make this knife very, very comfortable. That full choil just allows you to really choke up on that blade and get a comfortable grip. We have a deep carry clip. It's recessed, and it is going to be reversible. We are also sporting the Vanker lock here, which is a pivot-based button lock and is an extremely robust locking system. And not only is it going to be very dependable, very strong, it is an extremely fun and fidgety lock. Not only do you get a solid and reliable opening action out of this that is very satisfying, but you have that ability to just close the blade with the push of a button. It's going to be very fun, fidgety, but also very dependable. At 140 bucks for S35 textured aluminum and the innovative Vanker lock, I think this thing is an absolute grand slam. And initially, I wasn't a big fan until I got a hold of this knife and really carried it and used it, and I fell in love with this knife. Next up, this is one of the most affordable on this list, coming in right around 100 bucks. This is the Real Steel Knives Hugin Ultra, and coming in around 100 bucks, you're going to get a true DLC drop point blade in S35, and yes, this is a real DLC. We test it in the unboxing, try scraping it with a screw and pry bar, and it just laughed it off. It's actually a satin DLC. I don't know if the lighting will quite give us what we need, but it is a satin DLC. We are looking at dual thumb studs here for the deployment. This is a Ivan Braganowitz design, which him and Real Steel together make a solid cutting tool. Really nice sharpening choil in here for lots of sharpening life. Textured G10, full length G10 backspacer. We have steel liners in here housing our crossbar lock, which is really, really well done. It's going to have a little bit tighter action to it, but once they break in and smooth out, man, do they get really, really good. I have some examples of their crossbar lock that is broken in extremely well. We have a deep carry steel clip here, and it is going to be reversible, making this a completely ambidextrous knife, coming in just under $100 for S35 DLC textured G10, completely ambidextrous knife. This is a grand slam in my opinion. Next up, we have a little throwback here with the North Mountain Blade Kizer, and these are going to come in right around 120 in this form, but you can also get some upper-ended handle materials, which will increase the price, but I think this is a solid price here at 120. Got that very traditional Japanese aesthetic, which they do very often. We are looking at a traditional Japanese Tanto style blade here, SLD Magic. It's got this stone wash here on the upper edge, and then of course the pattern with SLD Magic, a very tough steel, and in my experience it is a fine user steel, and from everything that I hear from everyone else, it seems to be a good user steel. We are looking at textured G10 steel liners with a little bit of internal milling, and then we have a deep carry clip here that is recessed, and it is going to be reversible. We also have a lanyard hole there for the lanyard fans. Show side is chamfered off nicely. Really good access to that liner, and the action on this knife is spectacular. Detent is tuned nicely for that kind of front top flipper you got there. And then the closing action, even with that lighter blade, about 110 thousandths blade stock, man, it just closes like an absolute dream. It'll drop to the thumb, and then a very controlled hydraulic closing action on the Kizer here. Really like this knife from North Mountain. And I don't know if I said, but we're looking at 3.5 inches of SLD Magic, and we're looking at 8 inches overall. Next up, we are looking at the Kizer Crest. Guys, I love this knife, and the more and more that I've handled it, the more and more that I've used it, carried it. This is a newer release for Kizer. I believe it was a February release, and brand new. 150 bucks, and we're looking at S35 VN. We have a really nice kind of black wash PVD finish on that harpoon sheep's foot style blade. We have dual thumb studs and a rear flipper here for deployment. About 7.6 inches overall, and then about 3 inches of blade length here, and just a awesome and very comfortable knife. The action on this is to die for. The detent is nice and strong, good thumb stud action. They are textured and placed really well. You can even come in from the side like that, and I love throwing thumb studs open like that. Reverse flick is also money. We have these slightly contoured titanium handles with a little bit of milling all the way through. Speed holes, if you will, more like speed ovals. And you have a small, medium, and large. We have a lanyard hole in our titanium backspacer, milled tie clip to go along with the design. Great access to that lock bar because everything is chamfered, and so is the lock bar. Got a little tiny sharpening choil that you can kind of choke up on. But this coming out at 150 and knowing they're going to eventually here very soon drop the price even more on these, this is such a solid new release for Kizer at that price that it's a great choice. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning, that, this is kind of no man's land in a sense. There's a lot of knives here, but it's hard to sift through everything that is out there in this price. My favorite secondary size knife in this price range is going to be the Artisan Clio here. Not only is this a nice EDC type of knife, but this could be a great backup user. This could be a nice gent carry, just a just in case type of knife. But we're looking at 150 bucks. Yes, this is a smaller knife, but you cannot relate size to price. That is why Peñas cost $350, $400, and they are not a whole lot bigger than this knife here. You cannot equate price to size, so get that out of your head. We are looking at S90V on the steel with their sand polish finish, or their they call it a satin sand polish, basically. It looks really good. And then we have these oversized thumb studs, which I wish more companies would do. We have like cold steel thumb studs on here, and they work really, really well. We are looking at a plunge lock, which Artisan and CJRB do a great job with. We have a nice choil area here, and even with larger hands, you can get a full grip on this thing and be comfortable. Plenty of edge there to do day-to-day tasks. We're looking at titanium for our handle material, and it does have texturing, open construction with just one standoff, and then a very minimal milled titanium clip, which is going to be fairly tight in certain pants pockets, but others will be just fine. You can get a little bit of bend out of it if you kind of push it to its limits and kind of open it up a little bit. But all things considered, at this price with these materials, I'm a big fan of the Clio, and it has been one of my favorite secondaries that has come out yet. So this knife here has a little asterisk next to it because it's a little bit more than 150, which is what I'm going to put in the title. But the Tuya Voodoo here, it's coming in at 169. So a little bit over 150, but if you're in this price range, you're going to be looking, at 175 and under probably. And Tuya has one of the best catalogs of knives that fall right around 200 and under. And this knife used to, when it came out, retail for like 250. And now that there's limited stock, I think there's only like 40 of these left or so, maybe a little bit over 40 of these left. They've dropped the price down to 169. And for that, you're going to be getting a beautiful hollow ground Wharncliffe blade in S90V. And let me tell you guys what, this thing is an absolute razor. We have a hand satin on the flat, and then we have a belt satin on the primary. Nice large choil area there. We have a big cutout for deployment and a beautiful detent on this knife here. You can really thwack this thing out. And then we have orange peel titanium with a bronze finish to it. Titanium backspacer and pocket clip there. The way this swells at the butt end, it just makes this very, very comfortable. And you have several different grips you can kind of use this knife in, even extend your reach with this knife and still be pretty comfortable even all the way back here if you were to need to do something like that. We have great access to the lock bar, little chamfer, very easy to get to and disengage, and then a beautiful closing action as well. I've been a big fan of the Tuya Voodoo. It is a beautiful knife. Now, this one is also going to have just a little asterisk next to it because not this particular one, but over at Traditional Pocket Knives, they have some of the best slip joints on the earth and some of the best exclusives. And over there, right now, you can go get yourself a QSP Hedgehog in a wide range of different camo carbons. Chill vibes. They have all kinds of fluorescent pink and Milky Way versions. I'll have what I can linked down below. But not only are you going to be getting that type of carbon fiber for about $140, $145, but you're going to be getting a beautiful belt satin M390 sheepsfoot style blade. This has a beautiful long pull on it, and some of the absolute best walk and talk comes out of QSP's slip joints. I have been saying for quite a while they need to just open up their own slip joint line and produce a lot more slip joints, because they have exactly what it takes to make a really nice one. Not only is the walk and talk great, but the fit and finish across the board is really nice. I've had several Hedgehogs, and I've had even more QSP OEM slip joints, some of Traditional Pocket Knives' own exclusives. This particular one has jigged titanium, but as I said, the carbon fiber are the ones I am referring to. Nice little sharpening choil there. But if you're looking to kind of upgrade that slip joint from, you know, one of them ones under $100, say, and you're looking to go to the next level, I think this is a perfect place to start and even end. Right around 150, you can get yourself an amazing, amazing slip joint. And I think the QSP Hedgehog under $150, all the way down to the base models that are around $70, $80, are the best slip joints for the money. And I would have to say this is probably my favorite knife on this list, at least offhand. This is the Katuo and Carbon Knives Buckhorn. People who have been around my channel for a little while now have seen this knife. I carried and used and beat the hell out of this knife. I absolutely love it. These come in right around $150. We're looking at 14C28N, done very, very well. They also have an uncoated and uncoated version, so fully uncoated, just a blasted finish. This is the kind of murdered out finish with the bronze gold accents. We are looking at a PVD coated kind of high drop point or drop foot sort of blade here. Very unique from Ken Onion, but very versatile. We have dual thumb studs that are slanted and jimped very well. The detent is beautiful on this knife. We also have a flipper tab here that works extremely well. Love the bullet casing look around the pivot there and that pivot collar. You have that on both sides. And then we have a matching milled steel clip there on these aluminum handles. And this takes a ton of time, guys. The machining that is done on this handle and the two different patterns and textures that we have, plus they're slightly contoured, and you have this milling that runs through the entire thing. It is a crazy ass knife to get for $150. And then we have a full length backspacer here with an integrated lanyard hole. This thing is very comfortable. It's a good size. This is one of the ultimate EDC knives right here. You could use this as an everyday cutter. You could take this to the job site and just run this through pretty much whatever you would like, given it is a liner lock. But man, I have really beat the hell out of this knife, and it just keeps coming back for more. Very comfortable, jimping up here on the spine. Fits my hand perfectly, like it was just made for my hand. Nice sharpening choil there. Katuo and Reich do an amazing, amazing job. I always recommend going over and checking out their website. Like I said, I will have all these knives linked down below in the description in the order that you see them. That way they're nice and easy to find. Let me know what your favorite knife was from today's video. I love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to push that thumbs up button. That helps push the video out there to more people, and I truly appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, or you're here and you've been here before and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? I release daily videos just like this. Make sure you subscribe. It'll really help me out. Ring the bell. That'll notify you anytime I do release new content, and I'll pop up a couple of new videos. You can go check one of them out. That'll also help me tremendously. I love you guys, and I will catch you on the next one.